That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
All right, guys, I know nobody wants to talk about this, but I think it's the most important thing that we discuss every single week. We have to talk about the players that are seeing their value drastically fall, regardless of if that was a bad performance, regardless of if that's their situation changing, and we have to try to identify if we think we should be going out there and trying to buy these players on the low, or if we want to just sell before they hit zero, and really if they're going to be bench players, starters going forward, etc. But guys, let's try something new with this video. As I go through and cover these players one by one, as I talk, go down to the comment section and leave a comment. So you'll probably end up leaving 5 comments throughout this video telling me what you are doing with every single one of these players and why, assuming that if you are playing in a league that your trade deadline has not already passed, or even if yours has already passed, maybe try to give some advice for the other members of the flock, the other people looking at the comment section. Please go down there, let them know what you are doing with each player as we go and why. All right, so let's start it off, and let's start it with Todd Gurley. Now, y'all know I had to bring him up as he has been a sell-high player for us for pretty much the entire year. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to talk about Todd Gurley's usage and his inefficiency and really say that this is a running back that we want nothing to do with. Guys, only coming away with 1 reception yet again this game, having 8 carries, going for under 30 yards. This is exactly what we were talking about with Todd Gurley, where he was not seeing enough volume to be making points happen because of that. Similar to a David Montgomery, he was not seeing enough efficiency to be making our starting lineup every single week like a DeAndre Swift. Really, the only thing that was on his resume that was vaulting him up to being a low-end running back 2, high-end running back 3 every single week was the touchdown volume. Somehow, he just lucked his way into a touchdown every single week. I mean, coming into the week, you could have looked at his statistics as a low-end running back 2. You could have told me that, Mason, I'm tired of you talking about this. Why are you still telling me to sell Todd Gurley? And that was just because there was no upside with Todd Gurley. Guys, if we are looking for upside, we are looking for running backs that are getting targets out of the backfield. We are looking at running backs that are seeing some efficiency with their carries. Todd Gurley not providing you either one of those things, just relying on touchdown volume. That's the easiest way to spot a sell-high running back, is go where the touchdowns are, understand that touchdown regression is most likely going to affect that player, and then just name them a sell-high. Really, if you do that 100 times, you're going to be right about 80% of those times, and clearly that would be a fantastic hit rate. And if you can hit that mark on every single player, you are going to be the best fantasy football player in the entire world. With Todd Gurley, by no means am I labeling him a buy low candidate. I think that this is a player that if you still have and your trade deadline is not passed, I am trying to sell him for anything that I can get, as he has a difficult schedule coming up compared to what he had previously, and the touchdowns should not be there every single week. So he is not a player I want anywhere near our starting lineup. All right, so now our next running back, a guy that I think you can go out there and flat out cut, Mark Ingram. Guys, you could have cut Mark Ingram before he went on the COVID list, coming off a game where he only saw 2 carries for a total of 2 yards. I mean, Mark Ingram may have just been one of the worst draft picks in 2020. Really, I don't think that he had 1 week where he helped fantasy owners. He's just been a dead roster spot so far throughout this entire season, as the Baltimore Ravens really don't want to rely on one running back. And if we are going to project them to rely on one running back going forward, it's going to be the 21-year-old running back in J.K. Dobbins, who has the elite athletic profile, who provided a ton of production for this team just a week ago. So with Mark Ingram, even if we saw an injury to J.K. Dobbins, I mean, he would be in a split backfield with Gus Edwards, where we would be projecting him to be a low-end running back too. So there are a ton of players that have more upside than a Mark Ingram. Like, honestly, I mean, who would you rather roster between Alexander Mattison, Mark Ingram, Tony Pollard, Mark Ingram? I mean, I think that we never go with Mark Ingram in that group. I would say you could go out there and try to sell him in a package to get an upgrade, but there is no value that you have in trading Mark Ingram away. It, honestly, it's probably going to make the trade look a little bit worse, as someone's going to go, why the hell am I trading for Mark Ingram? No, that's disgusting. I think at this point, Mark Ingram is not even a player that should be rostered. All right, so now our next running back is the reason I labeled Nick Chubb a sell high candidate a week ago, Kareem Hunt. So guys, we know Kareem Hunt, we are going to see anywhere from 10 to 20 touches every single week. This one particular week, he only came away with 21 total yards between his 13 carries and his one reception. He ended up vulturing a touchdown away from Nick Chubb. This is a main reason why I am worried about Nick Chubb's fantasy football value, where if I could sell for a Miles Sanders, I think that's a no-brainer, because with Kareem Hunt, he's going to continue to see this type of usage where even if Hunt is inefficient, they are not looking to take him out of the game. They are just going to continue to rely on Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt as that 1-2 punch, and I will stand by the fact that with Nick Chubb, he is a fantastic running back, a top 5 running back in the NFL in terms of his rushing talent. There's really very few players that can provide you anything close to what he is giving the Cleveland Browns offense. But the problem is, we know we are not building a real NFL team. What we are doing here is we are trying to score fantasy points. You score fantasy points with targets out of the backfield, with usage at the goal line. Nick Chubb does not have either one of those things guaranteed. Neither does Kareem Hunt, but Kareem Hunt is costing you significantly less, where he is getting occasionally a few targets out of the backfield, occasionally some usage at the goal line. So honestly, going forward with this Cleveland Browns backfield, I think we can safely say that Nick Chubb is definitely the more talented running back. But the problem here is he is not getting the touches that you would like to see in this offense. I don't think that's something that changes anytime soon. So if we were going to have to label one of these players a sell high and one a buy low, I think honestly Kareem Hunt's probably the only guy on this list that we are wanting to label as a buy low candidate, because he did see the exact type of usage that we would want, which has been consistent with him every single week with Nick Chubb in the lineup. The only thing here is the efficiency wasn't there, and we know that's something that's going to be volatile week to week. So I think this is actually a decent week to go out there and try to buy Kareem Hunt. And I know some people are going to be very annoyed with me saying, Mason, didn't you tell us Kareem Hunt was a good sell high 3 weeks ago? Yes, guys, I did. Kareem Hunt's value 3 weeks ago was a lot higher than it is now. So instead of coming out here for me flipping back and forth, you're welcome. You profited. Thank me later. All right, so now let's get to our next running back, Alvin Kamara. Now, guys, Alvin Kamara, I know, extremely frustrating. This was his first 0 reception game in his entire NFL career, not even cracking 50 total yards. He got out-touched by Latavius Murray. Now, I know a lot of people are going to come out here and point to the fact that Alvin Kamara was questionable coming into this game, where he sat out of practice on Wednesday and Thursday and was saying that, oh, maybe Alvin Kamara could be an intriguing buy low candidate, just thinking that maybe Latavius Murray saw this type of usage because Alvin Kamara was hurt. And guys, I don't think we can say the same thing. I mean, Alvin Kamara only saw 1 target in this game, and that was on a screenplay. And we know that Taysom Hill is a quarterback that's going to look at his first read. If that first read is not going to be there, he's not going through his progressions. He's not eventually getting to Alvin Kamara to check the ball down to out of the backfield. No, he's just going to take off and run himself if he does not throw the ball out of bounds. So here with Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara, I think that Taysom Hill is just killing Alvin Kamara's elite level upside, where still Alvin Kamara is going to be a low end running back 1 for us based on his overall talent. But with the usage in the offense, I think that there's going to be a major difference between his fantasy value and his real life NFL value, just because Taysom Hill is not what you want if you are rostering a pass catching running back in that same offense. I would much rather have a Drew Brees or a Jameis Winston in terms of trying to get fantasy production for Alvin Kamara. All right, so now our next running back, someone that I completely missed on this past week. I told y'all to get him in your starting lineup, Duke Johnson. Guys, Duke Johnson saw exactly what we wanted to see. He got the majority of the usage in this backfield, almost every touch in this backfield. The problem is Duke Johnson is a bad running back. Y'all have no idea. I mean, if you have not been following the dynasty community in fantasy football very hard for the past, I want to say 5 years, you have no idea what the Duke Johnson experience is. I mean, Duke Johnson was a player that so many people were excited about in Cleveland year over year. He led running backs in terms of yards per touch. A big reason of that is because he was getting a lot of those touches in the form of receptions. He looked fantastic in terms of his efficiency. He had great numbers in college at Miami where he looked like he could be a 3-down running back. He has a decent BMI, a decent athletic profile, and he could catch passes out of the backfield where really it does not make sense that he is not producing, that he is never able to produce. We just have to throw in the towel here. I mean, I thought that we were going to be able to see a running back 2 performance from Duke Johnson. The offense put up a ton of points, but we know Deshaun Watson is going to have some of that rushing equity at the goal line. Also, this is an offense that is so much more efficient throwing the ball that it makes no sense for them to go out there and try to run. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out. And also, I'm going to be live streaming every single night this week outside of Thanksgiving night. I really hope I'll see y'all there.